안녕하세요, 대표입니다. 간만에 또 이렇게 인사를 드립니다. 핑계일 뿐이지만 요즘 영상을 업데이트하는 게 사실 쉽지가 않네요. 최근에 사실 저희가 오피스가 이전을 했어요. 그래서 지금 보시는 곳은 이제 저희 새로운 오피스이긴 한데, 다음에 기회가 되면 여러분들에도 오피스를 한번 이렇게 구경시켜드리는 그런 영상도 한번 만들어 보도록 하겠습니다. Anyway, 오늘은 얼마 전에 다녀가신 마이애미 대학교에 대한 이야기를 좀 해보려고 합니다. 마이애미 대학교에서 오신 분을 대상으로 해서 저희가 인터뷰를 진행을 했는데, 성함이 민디 씨라고 하는 여자분이었어요. 이분이 직함이 시니어 어소시에이트 디렉터라고 해서 인터내셔널 리크루트먼트에 있는데, 제가 그날 이야기를 좀 해보다 보니까 리크루팅 관련된 이런 일종의 마케팅 업무도 진행하시지만 학교로 돌아가시면 학생들의 입학 원서를 입학 사정하시는 그런 분이기도 하더라고요. 이분을 통해서 이제 마이애미 대학교에서 좀 알아볼 건데, 일단 먼저 말씀을 드리면 마이애미 대학교는 여러분들이 알고 계시는 저쪽에 미국을 기준으로 했을 동부 해안가에 있는 플로리다에 있는 마이애미 대학교 아닙니다. 오하이오주에 있는 마이애미 대학교, 대략 중서부 정도쯤 된다라고 보시면 될 것 같아요. 몇 가지 질문들을 저희가 드려가지고 여러분들이 좀 캐치하실 만한 질문을 드려서 영상을 제작했으니까 잘 보시고, 또 마이애미 대학교도 GAC를 통해서 Act국제전형을 통해서 갈 수 있는 대학이다, 그렇게 인지를 하시고 한번 눈여겨봐 주시면 좋을 것 같습니다. 영상 보시죠.
One thing I do want to say is that students feel more comfortable on our campus because the class sizes are much smaller. You're looking about maybe a 19:1 student to faculty ratio, and so it is very conducive to personal attention. So if you are the type of student that does well in smaller class sizes and you want to work directly with the professor, this will be a wonderful fit for you. And actually, now that you mentioned the public university, so you know how a lot of students are familiar with like Harvard, which is like a private institution, and I'm sure you know a lot of students want to go to Harvard. But Miami University is a public Ivy institution, so you're getting the same education that you would get at Harvard, but at Miami University for a public school price. So you're right. If I'm a family that's looking to really, get the best education possible, high quality education at a cost that is affordable, then I would certainly recommend, maybe considering Miami University, which is a public Ivy institution. Right now, some of our most popular programs include our business programs under our Farmer School of Business. Not for farmers, it's just the name of the business school, and it's highly ranked as well too. So a lot of our students from Korea would consider some of our business majors. But nowadays, the trend has moved to computer science and engineering, and so there's a lot of interest in students going into that field, especially any of the STEM majors. So if you were to ask me the most popular programs for international students at this point, it's probably business, engineering, and computer science. But I also want to throw out our liberal arts program because I know some students may be interested, let's say in psychology, or maybe I want to go into biology and go into pre-law. There are options like that as well. Some students are interested in like maybe kinesiology, nutrition. There's a wide range of programs that will cater to any student that comes in. So I don't want to, just share that we only have business and engineering, but we have 120 plus programs available to students. We do have a few alumni that maybe students may be familiar with. So first off, if I would start off with, I'm sure everybody likes music. So one of the band members from, I think the band is called Busker Busker or something, from Korea here. He graduated from Miami University and is a part of the band. Another one that I don't know if anybody's interested in like the politics. So one of the past prime ministers of South Korea actually graduated from Miami University. Is it Chung Un-chang, that prime minister? He actually got a master's degree from the university, so he also graduated from there. Maybe another one that our students may be more familiar with is that I'm sure everybody likes Starbucks here. The current CEO of Starbucks is also a graduate of Miami University as well. So just to kind of name a few notable ones, even in the US, we have a president, very old president that graduated from Miami University, as well as a lot of members in different area industries, like from business to government to education. So we do have a wide range, but I think those are probably ones that students may be a little more familiar with. Yes. I think it's a preparation that really helps students be successful inside a classroom. What makes a difference in the admission process is that we see the type of skills that the students are coming in with. And the foundation of admissions is not to deny students. We are looking for evidence that this student has challenged themselves. This student will be successful in the US classroom. It doesn't do us any good to admit a student who, is underprepared, may not have strong skills to be successful in the US classroom, because if that student ends up coming to Miami University and then drops out, then it affects our rankings and so forth. And so at the end of the day, the reason why students from this office are the center are perfect fits for our university is because they've been kind of shared in terms of what skills are needed inside a classroom. So I think that's the reason why the students coming from the center are strong students, because they've been given those skills. They've been kind of taught that and given a heads up before they step inside of actual classroom. So I think that's also one reason why the students are even more successful after going through this program and then coming to the US, whether it be Miami University or any of the other institutions that you work with. I think in terms of specifically benefiting the student, I think the preparation and taking courses that outside students who haven't had a chance to take those same courses, it kind of pushes the GAC students further along. And so what happens is that when an academic advisor works with the GAC student who comes in for advising, they're going to take a look at what courses they've taken under the GAC program, and then from there they will determine, okay, it seems like you may have credit from XYZ, and based off of that, maybe we can move you to this next course where you have to still take for graduation, and if you're able to move along to the next course, you're knocking off classes that you need, right off the bat. And, let me just give one example that's kind of theoretically, if I got credit for, let's say, Bio 101, from Miami University's campus, and based off of, what I've taken before, then when they see that credit, they will be like, oh, okay, you don't need to take that Bio 101 that you needed to complete the Miami plan. So let's move you to Bio 102 that's still required, but now you're one semester ahead of the game. You don't have to take the foundation that everybody else is taking. You could actually move along to the next course, so you could move faster through the funnel. So that's kind of one theoretical example of how GAC students, when they come in, they have a certain type of credit that knocks off a Miami University class, which means less classes to take, faster to graduation, and less tuition paid at the very end, because you're not taking as many classes that are needed for graduation. You can move along faster compared to your peers. Yes, there is actually, because we understand that the whole world does not follow our deadline, and that is completely okay. Even the ones with July and January completion dates, you're still fine. I think you still hit either one of the spring semesters or the fall semesters, because for fall semester, you have until April 1st to apply for the fall. And then for those of you who want to do the spring semester, we have the December 1 deadline, but we have the flexibility for GAC students to apply later. At the end of the day, it's not a matter of us reviewing your application. It's a matter if you have enough time to get your visa to come to the US. That's the only main concern, basically. If you're okay with that, and kind of going through that process, then that's, your decision. But internally for GAC students, we'll certainly do whatever we can to kind of review fast so that you could get a decision. We do rolling admission, so that's the reason why, if you complete your application, let's say today, for example, we'll try to get a decision to you by next week, is kind of our promise to students. Yes, yeah, definitely, work with GAC and which obviously you guys work very closely with us. Let's try to get, the application in as soon as possible so that we could issue the I-20, which allows you to go for your visa interview. Here's the thing with our holistic review process is that it's not just a GPA. Some of your GAC students may have like talents that are kind of beyond the classroom. We look at personal essay, any letters of recommendation. It could be from one of the GAC instructors. That's fine too. They might have wonderful things to say about you and how you progress. Like even though, let's say, high school, may have struggled a little bit, but you did really well in your GAC courses. Then we see the progression academically, so that kind of helps when we're reviewing an application. So at the end of the day, don't worry too much about just one number. We look at trends. We look at a wide range of information in your application to make that determination. So that's only one part of the puzzle right there. We actually if a 2 or above, we could certainly take that as well. So 2, 1, yeah. We have used it before to waive English proficiency for other Korean students, especially in the December time when we actually come and meet students. Sometimes we will talk about that with some of the students who just took the CSAT, and we'll tell them that, yeah, you could actually use that English portion to waive the English proficiency. Absolutely. So here's the thing. All of our international students, regardless of citizenship, will be considered for scholarships. And we have different types of scholarships. We have merit scholarships and we have international student scholarships. To be honest with you, pretty much a majority of our students from Korea get some type of scholarship. Most of them will get a combination of both the international student scholarship as well as the merit scholarship that our US students also get. And those two are stackable when it comes to the final amount right there. In fact, when you get a decision from us, you will also find out exactly how much you receive in scholarships. You could hold on to the offer. You could wait on other schools to submit their admission letters to you, and then you can make your final decision based off of whatever is the better deal for you. That's certainly in the talks in the future because we are very interested in attracting more GAC students. So more to come on that. The good news is that we've already started conversations around that type of scholarship. But once it's official, we hope to share that with future GAC students. Either way, I think a lot of students, even with that profile, will get something. If not, the amounts are probably, it varies depending on even their background within the same application. So even 2 GAC students with the same GPA might end up getting varying scholarships depending on the background that they're coming in with. Yes, and I highly encourage our students to take advantage of them because once you're a student on our campus, we have a portal. You could kind of search all the different jobs available to you as a student. And even our office, if you want to work for the admissions office, we're always hiring international students as well. Let's say, for example, you're a student that loves to showcase the campus. We have families that come, and if you are willing to take them on a campus tour, that's actually one of the higher paying jobs on campus as well. But there are lots of opportunities if you want to work in the lab, you want to work in the library, you want to, maybe help a professor with some of their duties, then there's also options like that too. So it just depends on what type of job you want, but a lot of the offices will work with your student schedule, will be very flexible with you if you have a test to take and you tell them, I cannot come in for work today. So we're always students first before the job, but we serve as great resources for if you ever need help with a resume, we'll help you with that. Mock interviews, we'll also do that too. So everything to kind of prepare you so that before you graduate, you have a list of experiences on your resume, and you could start talking to different companies when we have that job fair twice a year on campus.
영상 잘 보셨나요? 전반적으로 마이애미 대학교에 대한 인상이 어떠셨는지 모르겠습니다. 저는 들어봤을 때 일단 가성비로 손꼽히는 대학이 아니었나라는 생각이었어요. 퍼블릭 스쿨이기 때문에 학비도 좀 저렴하고 학교 수준도 상당히 좀 괜찮은 편이고, 그리고 지역적인 위치 또한 한국 기업들이 많이들 진출하고 있는 오하이오주에 위치를 하고 있다는 부분들, 이런 부분들이 좀 기억에 남았습니다. 여러분들은 어떠셨는지 댓글로 남겨주셔도 좋을 것 같고요. 다음 영상에서는 저희가 요즘에 세미나를 진행하면서 여러분들한테 여러 질문들을 받고 있는데, 그런 질문들을 조합을 해서 여러분들이 궁금해하실 만한 부분들만 모아서 이렇게 Q&A로 여러분들이 궁금증을 해결해 드리는 그런 영상을 좀 준비를 하고 있습니다. 그 영상을 통해서 다음에 다시 한번 만나 뵙도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다. 박 대표였습니다.